In today's video, I'm going to be using the best Giant Graveyard deck in the game. So you guys can see it has the newly buffed Musketeer in it that has a faster hit speed now. And I decided I would definitely use it on this variant because you guys are always asking me for good decks that don't have a champion in it. And this is definitely one of them. 2 people finished top 10 with this deck last season. You got the Dark Prince, which can now also jump over the bridge. You got the Skeleton Army, which is going to be really good on defense and can often bait out spells such as a log or something like that. And then you can end up going in with the Graveyard. You got Arrows and Snowball, which just pair really well in this deck. So you can try to take out things, you know, that they used to defend the Graveyard, maybe something like bats or minions. And they also have a large radius, so they can end up getting a lot of value against a lot of things that are clumped together. So right now I'm at 7,085 trophies, 522nd in the world. Nothing crazy, but we'll try to push up even more. Let's head into the first match. Alright guys, in a match here against this guy, I think it's a I'm pretty sure this is a Korean name. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I think I know this guy, and he's Korean, I think. We'll go and give him the good luck, and I guess we can just cycle Snowball if he's not going to do anything. Should be fine. He's going to Ghost. So, usually Ghost means some sort of bridge spam deck. It's used in a lot of different things right now, though. It's becoming a lot more popular than it has been, you know, a while ago. He's going to have Barb Barrel. Okay, so Ghost and Barb Barrel, don't know yet. I mean, it's probably Bridge Spam. Could be 3 Musketeers. That's definitely possible. And he's got Ram Rider. Okay, so yeah, could be Mega Knight. Could be Mega Knight. It would make a lot of sense. So if he has Mega Knight in cycle, he probably would play it here. He's pretty angry, I guess. I'm not sure why. Maybe he knows what we're running now, and he's not liking the looks of this matchup. So he's got Ewiz. Musk is going to be able to deal with that. I'm thinking of going Giant at the bridge here because I don't think he has a P.E.K.K.A. I feel like... What? Okay, he does. I thought he had Mega Knight. I was pretty confident because most people, when they're using P.E.K.K.A., they don't have... Well, they don't have Barb Barrel with the Ghost. I don't know. Usually they have Poison and Zap. But, you know, I guess we're in for... you know, a little bit of a surprise. I don't know. I mean, I wasn't expecting that. It's not that surprising now that, like, I think about it. But, okay, so Barb Barrel. And then, I don't know, like, does he have Lightning as his next spell? If he does have Lightning, it's a really good thing I'm using Musketeer instead of Archer Queen, right? Because Lightning doesn't get as much value against the Musketeer because it's only 4 Elixir instead of 5. Let's get Barb Barrel. Just going to play that. We counter push with the minions. And let's move Ram Rider defensively. So we might need to use a Snowball here on this Ram Rider just because without it, I feel like it would be, you know, it'd get quite a lot of damage. And that was a bad Bandit because he didn't end up getting it on top of the Musketeer. I'm going to have to Graveyard soon. We just have to wait a little bit because if I played it right there, it probably would have been pretty pointless since the Giant was about dead. We maybe try to get a Graveyard push going with the Dark Prince here in the other lane. We'll see. Okay, he didn't block the bridge, so that's really nice. And yeah, you can see he's going to have to spend a lot of Elixir on top of this, and we should get at least a little bit of damage. It might not be anything crazy, but yeah, I mean, we got a tiny bit. It was, I actually expected to get a little bit more than that, if I'm being honest, but you go Ram Rider in the back here. I mean, we still don't know, like, what his spell situation is. Like, I really feel like at this point it's, okay, I was going to say it's probably, you know, like a Lightning, but... yeah, it's a Fireball. That's very interesting. Not good, because I feel like it does pretty good against the minions and the Musketeer. I feel like I'd rather him have Lightning in this type of matchup, but it is what it is. I guess we'll go Giant Graveyard now. We have to try to make something happen at this point. That P.E.K.K.A. on the back was definitely a little risky, because, I don't know, I mean, I guess he feels pretty confident about defending the Graveyard, which... I mean, is ending up dealing a lot of damage to him right now. Wow. Okay, if we stop this Ram Rider, I guess we win. In fact, arrows do enough, so he maybe got a little too confident, you know, dropping that P.E.K.K.A. in the back there, because one Giant Graveyard push in the other lane is all it took. I mean, if he just played more passively, chances are he probably would have been able to win that one. I don't know, that's what it felt like. Alright, in our next game here, Giant is in our starting hand, Musketeer, Dark Prince. Not a bad starting hand at all. I would say, you know, even starting Giant in the back is a pretty good play with Giant Graveyard. You guys might have seen a lot of other Giant Graveyard players do that. I mean, you might think of it as being risky, but it really isn't when you have a Skarmian cycle, just because I really feel like you can defend just about anything, because, I mean, what's the worst case scenario? I mean, you could tower trade, right? If they go for something like an E-Giant at the bridge or in the back, you just tower trade, because then they wouldn't be able to defend the graveyard. So that's the important thing, I think, to remember with this deck, is to not over-defend in some situations. Like, try to understand when it's the right time to actually, you know, like, defend, or if you should be pressuring instead. So yeah, this is just a straight up bait deck. Arrows are going to come in handy in this matchup. But, I don't, like, I hope he doesn't have an Inferno. Like, if he has an Inferno, this is going to be a problem, because I don't have a reset. Okay, so it's a Mortar deck. That's good. I'm glad it's Mortar as opposed to, like I said, Inferno, which I didn't know if it was or not. Giant's going to get a little bit of damage. If he goes Goblin Gang on top of it, I can just Dark Prince, so I'm not really worried about that. Surprisingly, he doesn't. He's fine taking the damage. I thought he for sure would have gone for a Goblin Gang to try to, like, mitigate as much damage as he could have. This is going to be a nice snowball here. I just have to go Dark Prince, and it'll be able to splash everything. Ooh, one of the Spear Goblins does lock on the tower. I guess it's not the end of the world, and double Elixir, it's probably going to be a little bit easier for me to break through, since, you know, single, he's got a faster cycle, and I don't know, I feel like he's going to get overwhelmed when I start going in for, you know, giant, you know, I guess pun on words there, giant graveyard pushes. I don't know if I've ever said that before, but... Okay, so he's going to go... I don't know if he's going to go for a spell here on top of this. Maybe he will. Yeah, he does. I'm not surprised, I guess. Giant is able to get one more shot. That's nice. We'll just go arrows here. And then I can just Dark Prince to clean up the rest. So yeah, we have to wait kind of for the right opportunity, I guess. Where, you know, you have to be a little patient. Just set up Giant in the back. And then if he goes for a Mortar, I just Scar me in the middle, probably, to distract it. Go minions here. I don't know if he's gonna... Okay, yeah, he does Fireball. I had a feeling. Snowball here. And then finally go Giant Graveyard here. We have to get a push going. And then arrows. He plays the Dark Goblin higher up, I feel like, than he should have, because I feel like he could have played it... Oh, and then Rascals into it? Wow. Just one push. One push is all it takes sometimes. It reminds me of E-Giant or, like, Lava Loon. Giant Graveyard, people sometimes underestimate the beatdown of the deck. Just sometimes one giant push, and it's a whole tower down. We got a weird starting hand, but we just Scar me at the bridge. I guess that's fine. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Why not? And he's going to Barbell it, so we'll Snowball. Barbell. And then if he doesn't do anything else, I could probably Giant in the back, but he's going to Valk, so... Musk here's good. I think Valk, Barbell, my guess would be Graveyard, but it's the very start of the game, so it really could be anything. Yeah, actually, Mortar, wow. That's very interesting. I was not expecting Mortar. I thought... I was leaning more towards Barbell, you know, Barbell being Graveyard, because, you know, Valk... Barbell, typically in graveyard decks, but Mortar, you know, makes sense too, I guess, but usually it does have log. So go minions here. He might have delivery. If that's the case, he's going to get pretty good value with the delivery on top of the minions here. See what he has. Maybe he doesn't have it. Oh, yeah, he does. I was right. So at least I knew that. I didn't know it was Mortar at first, but I did have a feeling he had delivery. If I'm lucky, that's going to splash both of them. Oh, yeah, that's great. It's going to make it so much easier to take it out and defend. I'm very glad that that just happened. We'll Musk here. And I might... If he goes Valk to defend this... Yep, I was going to say, now I'm going to go Giant Graveyard, because he just used Barbell and Valk, which could be his best answers to the Graveyard. So we're going to go ahead and do it now. Oh, nice. I waited to play my Graveyard, and now it's pretty much GG. That's a smart thing to do. If you know your opponent has a building... Just wait, you know, a little bit. Like, don't immediately Graveyard, because there's that small chance they'll block the bridge. And that's what this guy decided to do. And let me tell you right now, if they mess it up, like 99% of the time, they're probably going to lose their tower, because they just simply won't have the elixir to defend your Giant Graveyard push. And that's exactly what happened. Same case if someone's using something like a deck that has Bomb Tower or even Tesla, they might try to block it. So just something to keep in mind. For something like Inferno, they probably would, you know, just play it normally, because with that, it doesn't make as much sense to block. And we'll go arrows here on top of this. Okay, whoa, he's got the freeze. What in the world? Well, that, wow, one freeze changed the whole game. It's kind of crazy. We were, like, winning, and I was actually pretty sure we were going to win. And, yeah, that just happened, so. It's kind of awkward. Still win, though. I mean, we actually take the lead back again, but, wow, that was very weird. I was not expecting a freeze. I have to keep this queen off of the tower at all costs. Snowball it back, too. We just have to make sure it dies. And we're good, we're good. I'm surprised he didn't freeze. I feel like that would have been a good one. He would have gotten a lot of damage, but guess he didn't want to take the risk. So we're going to go in here, try to get some good damage, hopefully. He will go Mortar, pull that back, so pretty good defense on his end, but we're still going to get a little bit of chip damage, so I guess it's not the end of the world. Trying to think about what I should do here. Okay, I'm definitely going to arrow this, because he's going to play the queen there, and that's going to give me so much value, which is great. Snowball this, hit both of them, I think. Nice. Dark Prince here. I think I'm going to Giant, actually, to tank for the Musk. I'm going to go Minions here. Is he going to, like, tank the Graveyard at all? That might have been a pretty bad Graveyard, if he doesn't. Yeah, that was I think that was a bad Graveyard. Kind of felt like a desperation play. That queen at 1 HP, man, that's kind of ridiculous. And he activates it again. Wow, that's insane. Going in here because, I don't know, I didn't think he didn't expect it. That was the main reason. I was like, well, I mean, he's probably not going to expect it, and there you go. I mean, I didn't know if he was going to be able to defend it, and he wasn't, so I'll take it. All right, here we go. In our next one here, so see if this guy wants to start with anything. If not, I'll just go ahead and snowball the tower immediately. Go Bandit. Okay, we'll Scar Me. I got ready. I got Dark Prince ready in case he has Zap. Saying oops. I don't know what he's saying oops for, because he didn't really do anything wrong. I mean, he just played Bandit and Bats. Maybe he knows something I don't. I don't know. Dark Prince, so Dark Prince, Bandit, Bats. No clue, honestly. No clue. Because usually Bats wouldn't be in this type of deck. Ewiz. I mean, maybe P.E.K.K.A? Mega Knight, possibly? We'll see. Okay. So, Giant to kite this into the opposite lane. Gonna actually be pretty good play here, I'd say. Minions to help take it out, and then we go Graveyard because the P.E.K.K.A isn't gonna hit the Giant. So, this is a good... Oh, no, he's got Poison. I'm not happy to see that, because the Poison... Well, I mean, it's pretty good against Graveyard, but huge chunk of damage. I think a lot of that was due to him playing that P.E.K.K.A that, you know, quite frankly, was really aggressive. So we ended up, you know, going for the nice kite and then that counter push, and he didn't have enough to defend it. So that one push might be able to win us the game. He's got Log too, which is pretty good against Graveyard and the Skarmy. So I'm glad I got that start, because if I didn't, I feel like this would be really, really difficult. Still might not be easy. I mean, now that he knows what I'm using, and he probably won't go for another P.E.K.K.A like that again, we're going to have to try to play our best here. I don't know about that push. That felt a little weird, that minor Bandit. Kind of is unfortunate, though, that the Giant is going to lose a lot of its health, but... yeah, actually, it ended up working out for him pretty nicely. That was actually a good play. Thought it was weird at first, but I kind of take it back a little bit now. We're going to go for a Graveyard push without the Giant, because we know he would just want to go for a P.E.K.K.A on top. So I'm going to instead make things a little weird for him, and it's going to work out. I mean, look at that. The Musketeer ended up connecting, Minion on the tower. Wow, that worked out way better than I thought it would. He's even calling the game. This time, I actually think it is a good game now. Wasn't sure at first, but we're able to, yeah, I mean, have really good control of this game. You know, great start. Not going to deny that. We got probably a little lucky, but from there, I mean, we still did a good job. And he did some, I guess, kind of questionable plays, but his deck, you know, overall doesn't make sense to me, at least. You know, P.E.K.K.A. Miner in the same deck, it kind of reminds me of like a 2017 deck, you know, that you saw like at the very start of the game, something like this. I almost wonder if there's almost an exact deck that was very similar to this, because this is giving me those vibes, you know, the 2017, you know, 2018, like P.E.K.K.A. Miner Poison. I'm sure you guys, some of you might remember, but yeah, I'd say let's go into 1 or 2 more games. Alright, in a game here against Zeppy, I don't know how you pronounce it exactly. Pretty sure this guy uses Golem. He's pretty good with it. I mean, his name is, I think he's also known as Monkeys, if you guys didn't know. Golem, I think, is pretty difficult for this deck, though, unfortunately, just because you don't have a lot of DPS for the Golem, so you have to try to be really aggressive with your giant graveyard pushes. I think that's kind of the plan of the matchup. Chances are, though, he might be using Golem E-Drag, because he's got the Skeleton Drag, so already kind of a, you know, interesting variation, I guess you could say. Got Lumberjack. So yeah, Lumberjack with the Skeleton Dragon's Barbell. It's making me think it's that, probably. So we can go Elixir Collector. I'm going to go Graveyard on top of it, try to, like, take it out. Maybe Snowball with it, too, just to try to whittle down the Elixir Collector as much as I can. I think it's definitely worth it. You see, he even went for... Oh, yeah, that was 100% worth it. So, great play there. Using my Graveyard to kind of snipe the Elixir Collector, even though I don't have a big spell to take it out. Maybe he should have played it in the middle. Maybe he didn't know what I was using. But if I were him, I would have definitely gone Elixir Collector in the middle. I don't think that was the play, playing it where I could get value with the Graveyard, as you saw. So go Dark Prince here, and wait, what in the world? Okay, we'll just kite this with a giant. That was weird. It like jumped over the bridge. Can we go minions here to maybe take out this E-Drag? A bit retargeted. That's not good. But either way, I don't think it's that big of a deal, and I maybe could actually activate the King Tower off of the E-Drag. We'll see. It's gonna be pretty close, but nah, the E-Drag didn't stay put, so we'll go Snowball here. Wait, and I guess we'll try to get a Graveyard going, because I'll arrow the Elixir Collector. So I guess it works, because, you know, we take out the Skelly Drag, damage the Elixir Collector. Why not, right? Just to make sure we're keeping up the pressure, because as soon as he goes in for a Golem, we're gonna have, you know, a pretty rough time. That's all I gotta say. Graveyard here, why not? Kind of another weird Graveyard push. Like punishing the Elixir Collector. Just arrow this. Snowball. Yeah, we just have nothing for the Elixir Collector. It's kind of a problem. This might be, unfortunately, the end for us here. We'll see, though. It's not 100% over yet, but it's not looking good. Not looking good. So just Giant here. Gonna go in, try to get good arrow value, and then even Snowball too. Just to get all the value we can against this Elixir Collector. Try to get Tyro damage as well. And yeah, we are gonna do that, but yep, he's just gonna Golem at the bridge, and this is probably GG, because he should be able to just break through in this push. I don't see how I'm gonna be able to defend it. Probably go arrows here on top of all this. And yeah, it's gonna be it. Kind of hard to defend the Golem, but I mean, you know, like I haven't seen that Golem deck in a while, so I guess have much shame losing to that. You know, something a little bit off meta. All right, in our last game here against Baby, so we could go. Okay, Gumbo, he made that easy. I was gonna say, like, we could just go Giant, you know, in the back, but now, you know, we arrow that, and then if he doesn't do anything, okay, now he's just making it easier for me again. We'll go minions on that. He's got arrows. Oof, that's not good that he's got arrows, because, you know, direct answer to my minions, although I could bait it out with the Skarmy, so it's not the end of the world, I guess, but if he has something else for the Skarmy, he wouldn't, you know, need to use it on anything besides the minions. So we'll just Musk here. I'm tempted to go Graveyard. If he doesn't tank the Zappies... ooh, he did. But I still think Graveyard's good here, actually. Snowball the Bats. And this should be some solid damage. And I feel like we can defend the Mega Knight relatively easily. Well, not good damage from the Graveyard, but the Mega Knight should be easily defended, as I said. Kind of a tip, if you guys didn't know. I'm sure a lot of you guys did know this, but in case you didn't, you can play, like, a Dark Prince or something, like, kind of in the middle, and then the Mega Knight will jump, and then both powers will target it. I think it's definitely worth, like, saying, just because I see a lot of, I don't know, I see a lot of people, I used to actually do this, I'm guilty of this, I used to defend the Mega Knight by playing, like, whatever unit I was using. I would play it, instead of playing it, you know, here, where I just did, I would play it, like, right, you know, in front of it, or, like, right barely in front of the tower, which, you know, isn't as good. I mean, it still works, and it'll still defend it, but you get more counter push that way when you have the second tower helping out, so just a tip, you know, I kind of wanted to mention. So I'm very glad he's got Firecracker. Arrows are going to be good against that. So both of our arrows are going to get a tremendous amount of value in this matchup. Him against my minions, mine against his Firecracker. So we're going to snowball this. I guess we'll just, you know, not go for a graveyard push here. Actually, he just helped me out by playing the bats into those arrows. So I'm very soon going to go graveyard. I just want to make... nah, I can't, because sadly... Luckily, though, this Musk is just going to town on top of the Mega Knight there, so we should be perfectly fine, and no point in activating the King Tower against the Firecracker, because it is, of course, you know, okay, he's going to arrow that. He probably got a little desperate to do that, maybe forgetting about the minions. I am 100% going to go for a Giant Graveyard now. I waited because I had a feeling he was going to scar me the Giant, and I have arrows ready for whatever he drops on top of the Graveyard, so Firecracker, definitely going to arrow that. I'm surprised he didn't drop that behind the King Tower, because the Firecracker kind of has a large, you know, like, shot range, so if he played it behind the King Tower, I would have had to wait before I would have been able to arrow it, and it would have made his defense slightly better. I think either way, I still would have gotten a lot of damage, but it would have helped him out a bit, for sure. So this should for sure be a good game. In fact, I'm probably just going to go prediction arrows here, predicting, you know, like bats or whatever he drops. Yeah, he would have lost anyway because, you know, I knew he had to drop. So yeah, that's going to be GG. And yeah, that'd be it. I hope you guys did enjoy it, because I know some people, you know, probably wanted to see Giant Graveyard. Soon I'll definitely make sure to do a video on log bait, because I haven't done a video after the Inferno recently got buffed. It got a very small buff. It's not insanely noticeable, but a buff is a buff. So I'll do log bait Inferno soon. Make sure, like, if you guys did end up enjoying it, subscribe if you guys aren't subscribed already. And thanks again. Until next time, guys.